This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. This is Central Texas Life with Ann Harder.
Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the ARC of McLennan County with Coleen Heaton, who is the executive director, and Vince Ericson, who's on the board. And of course, Vince and I have known each other a long time. Coleen and I just met, but we're going to find out a lot more about them and especially about ARC. First of all, it's a nonprofit,
Yes.
and it deals with developmentally delayed individuals, children and adults, right?
Right.
Take it from there, Coleen.
Yes. The ARC was actually started in the mid-50s, and around the country, parents were not wanting to institutionalize their children, but public schools were not near ready for any type of accommodation. So there were these grassroots movements all around the country where parents were getting together and saying, let's raise our kids together. Let's do this together. Let's figure this out. This works for me. And the ARC of McLennan County was formed. And there are 500 to 600 chapters around the country. Many states have a head chapter in the state capital. And there's the big one in Washington, D.C., the ARC of the U.S. And most major breakthroughs and changes in laws have come about with the help of the ARC over the last 7
So it's an advocacy
years.
group
Yes.
for these individuals and their
Yes.
families.
Yes. And each one stands alone financially. So
Okay.
all the money that we raise stays in McLennan County to help individuals who live here. But we have this huge network. I can pick up the phone and call hundreds of different organizations and say, do you have an after-school program? How is this working for you? And what's really neat is each location does what their area needs. McLennan County needs direct care, so we do direct care. Harris County needs educational services, so they focus more on that. In the Austin area, there is the ARC of the Capital, but there's also the ARC of Texas. And the ARC of Texas does no direct care services. They only advocate at the Capitol.
Yeah, sure.
But-
They're the lobby group.
Right. But the ARC of Texas has services for individuals who live there.
Now, you say direct care. What exactly do you mean by that?
For us, direct care means that we have a day program for adults. They come in from 10 to 3, Monday through Friday, year-round, and we work with them on vocational skills and socialization and community work. They volunteer at Meals on Wheels every Wednesday.
Really?
Every other Tuesday, they work at Shepherd's Heart Food Pantry. We have a contract with Polyglass, a local manufacturing company, and they need these things called V-boards to ship their shingles out on trucks. And trucks can't leave their lot to take out their product across the nation without these V-boards, but they don't want for people to stop what they're doing in the factory and build these V-boards. So they have trained our adults to do that.
Really?
And so it has become this team effort where someone vacuums the floor after the work is done. Someone keeps up with the paperwork. Someone keeps up with the inventory. Somebody cuts the strips. Somebody nails the strips to the boards. It's a full group effort, and it's a lot of fun, and they don't necessarily realize we're gaining so many different valuable skills in this, including the teamwork. And we even believe that there are a couple people attending the ARC now who could eventually work at Polyglass for them.
Sure.
Once they learn these skills, that they could go out and have a job, competitive employment. And that's what we really hope for all of the adults that we serve. So that's direct care for adults. Then we have direct care in the form of an after-school program for children with IDD. We pick up from Midway schools, and Waco ISD buses drop off because our building is located within Waco ISD. And then when school is out, parents still need somewhere for children to go. So we have an 8-week, 10-hour-a-day summer camp. And we provide the specialized services needed that just a typical summer camp or maybe after school program or daycare can't
more
provide.
specialized care.
Yes.
And
yes.
IDD stands for?
Intellectual and developmental disabilities.
So, Vince, you've been involved with this board for a good long while, haven't you?
I'm fairly new to the board, but I'm not new to the ARC. When I was
Right.
in Lincoln, Nebraska, when I was doing sports, I'm in the 90s with those great Nebraska teams, you remember,
Yeah.
that were so good. Well, I've served on the board with the ARC there, the ARC of Lincoln Lancaster County.
Yeah.
And that's when that's when I first became involved with the care and the taking care of the folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities, a vital part of our community. And to see their faces light up of the inclusion that you have with being, you know what, I'm a part of the community here. And they are involved and they are ready to go. And without something like this, a safety net, if you will, it's an incredible opportunity to help a part of our community that is vital to what we do to grow, to all the different parts of our community.
Yes. Well, you mentioned the skills they learn, but that sense of just self-worth and that I can do this and accomplishment,
Yes.
that, you can't put a price tag
Absolutely
on
not.
that.
No. And
yeah.
it's we have so many stories. Everyone has a story, and
Sure.
everyone who comes to the ARC has a story. We have 2 men in the adult program, the Opportunity Center, who started out when they were children in the after-school program and then summer camp. And now they're grown adults, and they have jobs in the community, but they still need that support and that camaraderie that they've been so used to for years and years. There's a young man who lives independently, but he still needs support. So he comes in and gets the support from us. We have some people who come 1 day a week. We have some who come every day. We have some whose parents bring them and some who ride public transportation. And so
It's a wide array of
very much
abilities.
is. Yes,
when
it
you're
definitely
talking
is.
about this, but I also see, that for the caregivers, the parents and so forth, to have that respite is pretty important too.
It definitely is. And we get phone calls a lot. We had one of the most unique on Monday or Tuesday of this week. A man called and he's raising his young adult daughter himself, and she's having some gynecological problems, and there was no one in his life he could speak
That
to
he could
about
call.
it.
Oh, my.
No one. And so he called just this random organization and said, can you point me in any direction? And a lot of times people need to be heard. They need to talk it through. And at the end of the conversation, the man realized there was a number on the back of his insurance card that he could call.
Oh,
But one of our staff member who took the call just sat there and talked to him for a little bit and said, it's going to be okay.
yeah, just kind of
You're gonna
calm
get through
down.
this."
Yeah, it'll be
Yes.
all right.
I sometimes sit with parents for hours in my office, and if that's what they need, then that's what we do, because we also have to support them.
Yes.
And it's such an isolating position that they find themselves in, and to be able to offer community and support and a listening ear is very important.
And I'm sure for a lot of them, concern with what's going to happen after I pass away.
Yes.
Can you give any kind of insight into
Absolutely. We have just started a parent education program every third Thursday, and we have several attorneys on our board, and they are offering their expertise to families free of charge through these parent education programs. And so we'll continue that. And when someone calls with specified needs, we try to put them in touch with the right person, whether it's someone on our board who specializes in that. If it's another local organization that we work with that could better serve them than we can, we want to do that and to answer the questions. We attend ARDs, we go to IEP meetings, we sit beside parents when life is difficult.
Yeah, and of course there are other organizations, and I think Friends for Life,
Exactly.
certainly with their adult day care, and they're at maximum. I mean, there is such a need for this.
Well, and especially with what you have, with what you have going on, before I got involved with the ARC here, I was over at the Behavioral Health Network, which is the local, the LIDA, the Local Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities Authority. And there was testimony in front of the legislature in the 88th biennium. And you had a consumer for one of the LIDA, the authority for one of the Panhandle communities, and a young man had been in the care of that particular organization, and he had managed to, over the years, be trained by his caseworker to get a job.
Oh.
It paid him $15 an hour. But
he
other,
needed to
but the other
managing
part,
all that.
But the other part of the testimony was is that his caseworker was only earning $10.50 an hour. So this is one of the things that we have. There's opportunities here, but it's one of those things that's been traditionally underfunded. We want to make sure that the ARC wants to be there, as Friends for Life does, to fill those gaps.
Right.
And one of the things that Coleen can really testify to, because this is one of the reasons I was honored, Coleen, to join you on this board, is her dedication to making sure that the ARC can fill those gaps the very best we can through what she's talking about with the parents' advocacy meetings, the programs, the summer camp, the family support, the robust kind of support that we can give for this community, because it is a vital part of our community and can be. And we want to make sure that folks are aware that this is here and that we also do need help.
Yes. And of course, you're 501c3, so you have to raise money.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. Before I came, the previous director had a long-standing annual fundraiser called Boots on the Brazos, and we have changed that. This year, we are doing a Halloween-themed party, Booze on the Brazos.
With an S, okay?
But not B-O-O-Z. Right.
No,
Booze.
but it will be a really fun adult costume party, dinner, dance. It will be at Lee Lockwood, and the library will be fully haunted.
Oh,
and
gosh.
It will be a lot of fun, and we're inviting the community to come out and enjoy that with us. And know that the funds are going to go back to help these families that we've talked about here with all of these needs.
Do you have a date for that?
Yes, October 11th.
Okay, all right.
Yes, Saturday,
all right.
October 11th at Lee Lockwood Library.
All right. Well, that's exciting. And from what I was reading, all the money raised locally stays local. It does not go to the state or national organization, but you could support that if you wanted to, I guess.
Yes. The national sends out regular emails, so you could get on their mailing list and hear from them. Also, the ARC of Texas, and they're great, and they're advocating at the state and the national level. And we're here at the local level doing the hands-on direct care work, and we need the support also right here.
Is there anything right now before the legislature with any bills, anything that you know of that affects?
There are a lot of things going on, and I had the opportunity several weeks ago to go to Washington, D.C. to the Disability Policy Seminar and listen to self-advocates plead with lawmakers and representatives to not cut Medicaid and to not cut funds for IDEA 504, to hear their voices and see them. And I took letters and cards and pictures from our adults in the Opportunity Center and delivered them to Pete Sessions' office and Ted Cruz's office and John Cornyn's office to let them know, hey, we're constituents and we want you to hear our voice, and we need to get loud and need you to come down the street and visit.
And one of the things that Coleen is really, I'm trying to find the word dedicated to, is making sure that, yes, there are needs for funding for our consumers, for the people that for our services, for the indirect respite, et cetera. But Coleen also wants to make sure that we take care of our donors. She signs a letter that goes out to a donor. Because I believe in the ARC so much, I donate. I donate what I can. I get a letter from Coleen. You know? And we want to make sure folks know that not only is your money going to be going to help the people directly right here, but also that you, the donor, are appreciated. You are part of our family. We want to have partnered with you because we know our donors care deeply about our community. They care about all the different facets of our community. And our consumers here with IDD are vital parts of what they are. The ones that are getting jobs, that are contributing to things. But our donors are contributing too. So we want to make sure our donors are taken care of.
Yeah, definitely. Though
Yes.
you serve a vulnerable community, but with so much potential.
Yes.
And when we come back, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we want to hear some more about you two personally and how you got passionate about this. And I understand there's also a message to you from
Yes.
your people. So
Yes.
we'll be right back.
Level up your game with Corsair, the global leader in high-performance gear for gamers, content creators, and PC enthusiasts. From award-winning PC components to premium streaming equipment, smart lighting, and esports coaching services, Corsair delivers an ecosystem designed for peak performance. Whether you're a casual gamer or a pro, alleviate your setup with Corsair. Shop now at Corsair.com. That's Corsair.com. Corsair.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Our research-backed bioavailable formulas are crafted with your health in mind, ensuring the highest quality and safety. From preconception to pregnancy and beyond, we exceed industry standards with independent testing for harmful contaminants. With our comprehensive practitioner directory, personalized care is always within reach. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at fullwellfertility.com. At Mitzi, we believe the right light can transform any space. Born from a third-generation lighting family, we craft beautifully designed, premium lighting that's made to be affordable. Inspired by Grandma Mitzi's eclectic style, we're on a mission to make high-quality lighting accessible to all. Whether you're updating your space or adding a unique fixture, Mitzi has the perfect design for you. Beautiful, well-made lighting without the high price tag. Discover your perfect light at Mitzi.com. That's MITZI.com. Mitzi.
And we're back with Coleen Heaton, who's executive director of the ARC McLennan County, Vince Ericson, who is a board member. And, it's been great to hear your passion for this work. But Coleen, what led you to this point? What had you done before? How long have you been with the ARC? You may have had 28 years. I don't know how long you've been with it.
I'm coming up on my second anniversary with the ARC, but I have been an advocate and I have been absolutely in love with the disability community since I was in high school.
Really?
I volunteered then. I knew that was the path that I wanted to take. I thought about being a teacher. I volunteered with Special Olympics, then I moved to Waco and I found Challenger Little League, and I spent over a decade with them and helped build the volunteer program. Then I started No Limitations, which Challenger Little League is for baseball. No Limitations offers football, flag football, cheerleading, basketball, and soccer to the same population, all free of charge. And then I left that and kind of took a break in 2021 and then returned 2 years ago to the community. And it's absolutely what I love and where I want to be and the people I want to serve. And at the ARC, we don't say client, we don't say consumer, we say friends.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know they become.
absolutely.
They become your
Yes.
friends. I have had the chance to have some involvement with Special Olympics over the years, and with huge, great, big clubs, and the excitement. It truly is like the Olympics with the march in and all, and but the support from the fans and the friends is so
Yes.
heartwarming.
Yes, I still am friends with one of my classmates who was in special education in high school, and I still visit him several times a month, and we stay in touch. And when I walk in the room, it's as if the rest of the world stopped.
Really?
And it's just our conversation, and we're just two friends sitting there chatting. And one time I said, nothing has changed between us. And he said, I'm just a little older, a little fatter, a little grayer. But yes, there's something about this community that has always been so open and loving and welcoming to me. And I want to give back to them because of what they give to me.
Yeah. Of course, in broadcasting, that's a big part of what we do is
Yes.
community involvement. But there are a lot of wonderful nonprofits out there. What led you, Vince, to back in Nebraska
Absolutely.
to this particular work?
I can tell you, I had a good friend in Nebraska who was involved with the ARC, and she wanted somebody to come MC their banquet.
Okay, yeah, there
And
you
I
go.
was able to do that. And one of the things I like to do is when I get involved, I like to spend a day seeing what the friends are about.
Right.
What that's about. And it really touched me right there, and was glad to serve on the board for a year and do the messaging, because that's what, and you and I are storytellers. When it comes down to, we're storytellers, and telling those stories.
Right.
So that's when it first got, when I arrived in Waco, and through the years, not only being in broadcasting, etc., but also being a certified personal trainer, I trained a client who had IDD. And this particular client was known as being difficult. And technically, really, no.
Really?
This client had a gift.
Oh.
This client had a gift. You simply had to put that gift in the right
You
situation.
had to find that.
You had to find that and connect with that person. And this person came alive.
Yeah.
This person was able to accomplish the goals that they wanted to accomplish, understood that there were some things that were just not going to happen, and that was okay, because that was their gift. It's not what anybody imposed upon them. They could be who and what they are.
Absolutely.
And really, I think that's something we can all agree
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
That let's be who and what we are, and it is to be honored. So that made a difference. And then between the time I was at Channel 25 in 2016 to 2019, and then to when I arrived at Fox 44 last August, I was spent 5 years at the Heart of Texas Behavioral Health Network, formerly known as MHMR, as the division director for communication, for basically communications, marketing, and non-grant fundraising, and got to get engaged with our legislators, and in particular the 88th biennium, when the aforementioned testimony that we had heard, and hearing from folks, this is wonderful, but it doesn't move the needle. Okay, and then it's like, okay, what can we do to get it to move that needle? When you have reimbursement rates for intellectual and developmental disabilities, IDD, that had not changed in 12 to 15 years.
Really?
At that time, $8.13 an hour. And then when you had that, what was it, $360 billion surplus that they had, that the legislature could not constitutionally spend, then having to be able to have those dollars available, and of course, under the leadership of Daniel Thompson at that time, being able to go and make our case. You don't lobby, but you do educate. And the feedback you get is, yes, this is badly needed, but you also got property tax relief. You also have other immigration things like that tend to do that, and it
Have
gets
demands
pushed down
on
the
that,
road.
right.
But the reimbursement rates for IDD did end up going up, but only to $11 something, or $10.60 an hour, and it was like, there's something that has to be done here. So when Coleen approached me in our getting acquainted, it was just an opportunity I could not resist, and want to help more than anything else, in whatever capacity I can do to help tell those stories, to be able to get people together, to get folks at the table and have that conversation. It all starts with the conversation.
Right.
A conversation, and I think, Coleen, we can say a conversation among friends.
Absolutely. And relationship
And
building.
relationships, and it's relationship building. And we want our friends to have their place in the community, be seen and to be heard and to be noticed for who the wonderful people that they are.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the story with a friend that you'd known from long ago, but I'm sure there are lots of other people who come to mind
Yes.
that have been
yes.
helped through this.
Yes, there was a young lady with Down syndrome on the stage on Capitol Hill when I was there, and she just stood up and she passionately pled her case and said, "This is my life. Please let me live my life. I am a human. I'm an adult. I matter." And sometimes our friends can't get up and use their voice like that.
Right.
So I want to be that for them until they can. And I told them, I'm going to Washington, D.C. this year. I want you all to go next year. I want you to go and represent
Oh, you have to experience,
yourselves.
yeah.
Absolutely. You have to go and you have to stand there and you have to advocate. And that's a big part of what we're doing right now is the self-advocacy. And we have a group that meets once a month, and they're learning self-advocacy. And then it's part of a network throughout Texas, an organization, Texas Self-Advocates. And once a year we go to a conference, and there's a hotel filled with adults with IDD. And they're leading the breakout sessions, and they're the keynote speakers, and there's a big fancy dinner, and you walk past the bar, and there are adults with disabilities at the bar sharing beer because that's what adults can do.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most beautiful things. But they're standing up and saying, "Hear me, see me, I matter." And we want to amplify their voices until they can be loud enough that we can step back.
What do you hope to see happen through the ARC of McLennan County maybe in the next 2 to 3 years?
I would love to see explosive growth. I would love to. We've been here for 71 years now, and I would love for everyone to know that the ARC is here, that there is a place for people, not just people with disabilities, but people who love people with disabilities to come in and work and come in and volunteer. And I've said this often, I want to knock the walls down in our building, and I want to so severely outgrow it that we have to go elsewhere. And it's a pipe dream maybe, but I would like for everyone in McLennan County who needs our services to know that they're there and to have the ability to make use of them.
Well, so where are you located?
We're located right across the street from Friends for Life on Lakewood Drive near Target and Baskin-Robbins.
Okay, very good. And I know you're kind of involved with marketing, getting the word out, doing all this. What specifically does someone need to do that maybe wants to volunteer and help?
I would say number one, go to the ARC of McLennan County website. It's everything it's very nice, simple, to the point. You'll be able to get everything you need right there, knowing about the ARC, what our mission is, what we hope to do, what we are doing now, and how people can be involved and be our partners in this. The biggest thing is in having those relationships with folks to be able to be a part of a community, again, that is vital and that we want to have the services so that nobody has to go without.
And the link is Get Involved. So it's very, very easy to find there on the
very easy to
website.
figure that out.
WacoArc.org.
Well, I like to end these little visits with a questionnaire similar to the one the late, great James Lipton would use on Inside the Actors Studio. Have you done this? You haven't done this.
I've done this.
Okay.
This is my initiate me.
Okay, all right. All right, so I'm going to ask you to be thinking about this. I'm going to ask you about what is your favorite word? Coleen, I'll start with you.
Inclusion.
Yep. Okay. Vince?
Jesus.
All right. Okay. Amen. What about your least favorite word?
No.
I have heard that before. Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because there
You're
are
a
so,
wordsmith.
There are so many. I'm trying to think of the word. Not indifference, but
Yeah.
Apathy, maybe?
apathy.
Yeah.
Apathy.
Right. Right.
That is my least
Okay.
favorite.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
I live in the house I grew up in.
Really?
I love sitting in my big, comfy yellow chair in the bedroom where I grew up, looking out at my little flower garden
Oh, my.
and the new calves out in the pasture and the flowers that I've planted, and knowing that there was a legacy before me, and hoping that I can leave such a legacy after I'm gone.
Beautiful picture. Okay. Top that.
The light of Christ.
Very good.
The light of Christ, and the light of Christ and what we do to connect. To connect people to services, to connect people, to deep relationship so that we are all one.
Yeah.
And I believe that the light of Christ does that.
Amen. Well, what turns you off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? We'll start with you, Vince.
Exclusion.
Yeah, there you go.
Exclusion to
We
where
kind of have a theme going.
One of the things that was described by one of my previous workplaces, you kind of help those people over there helping those people over there. And that was the epitome of exclusion. And it's almost inhumane.
Almost.
Yeah.
What about you, Coleen? What turns you off creatively? Or
The word no.
yeah. I hear that. Okay, what is your favorite sound? I'll go back to Vince.
My favorite sound. Boy. Let me defer to Coleen on that one first.
Laughter.
There are so
Laughter.
many.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
Laughter.
Laughter. All right. All right.
That when you're in nature, okay?
Yeah.
When I'm on a hike, I love to hike.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I'm on a 14er. It doesn't matter if I'm in Death Valley. It doesn't matter if anywhere in between. But that sound of nature that is indescribable, that is truly being in tune with the world around you.
Yeah.
That sound.
Good. That I've not heard it put that way
Yes.
before, so that's excellent. What is your least favorite sound? What do you go? Oh.
When my wife yells at me.
Okay. All right.
Oh, my first inclination was to say the word no, because that's kind of been over and over. But maybe crying.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know. That can, even a baby cry. What job would you like to have tried? I mean, you knew from a young girl what you want to do. Was there anything like something else you did? Oh, I would have liked to have tried.
I thought at one time I wanted to be a fighter pilot.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the time I was a little boy. Now, I'll tell you, I got to do my dream job, okay? TV sportscaster. I wanted to be a TV sportscaster since I was a little boy, and I got to do it for 35 years. Very privileged. But the job I wanted to try was being a professional basketball player.
Well, you're tall enough.
But I didn't know. I made tall, but just didn't have the not to even mention on college, recruited by some small colleges.
Yeah.
But just didn't have the talent. But would love to have tried it. Gone out there, gotten my you know what kid. Hey, at least I gave it a shot.
At least you gave it a try.
Yeah.
Okay, what job do you know you don't want? Thank you very much. I'm glad somebody does it, but don't want that one.
Newscaster.
And can we say it's overrated, or we really can't do that, can we?
It's a great career. It was a great career.
Exactly.
For the right people.
Oh, well, yeah,
Exactly.
I hear that. I hear that. But is there anything you're like, don't want to do that?
I don't know, Ann. I've been versatile in so many different things. Organized crime.
Okay, all right. Okay, yeah,
Anything,
I'd stay away from that.
Anything involving crime.
Right, okay. One last question.
Yeah.
What do you want to hear God say when you arrive at those pearly gates?
You love my people, and you love me with your whole heart. You did the best you could to get the sin out of your life. You let me take care of the rest. You served. You gave grace, and you accepted grace.
Mine would be that you loved people.
Yeah.
Well, between the two of you, I'm honored to have had a chance to visit with you, and thank you so much. Vince Ericson, Coleen Heaton with the ARC of McLennan County. And again, your gala fundraiser is going to be Booze
on the Brazos.
Brazos. Yeah.
Yes, Saturday, October 11th at Lee Lockwood Library.
And go to your website.
It's on the website, it's Facebook, it's on Eventbrite, or they can call us 254-756-7491.
And your website, again, is wonderful, and that's at
WacoARC.org. And that's ARC, not ARK.
Yeah,
Yes,
not like
ARC.
Noah.
Right.
And again, also on social media, on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.
And thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Central Texas Life with Ann Harder is part of the Rogue Media family. Be sure to check out our other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please rate this show 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Join us again soon for more Central Texas Life with Ann Harder. This has been a Rogue Media Network